Great morning, Houston, downtown. I've been saying great morning to y'all all morning, like literally since I walked in here this morning. And these wonderful guests that I have in the studio with me today, I can't wait to talk to them. We had our question of the day. What was our question of the day, Reggie?
You know what? Why is these lights are so like? Why the light bills are so expensive this time around? Like everything's so expensive.
That was not a question of the day, but it is a question.
It is a question.
We had Sam Luna with BKV Energy in the studio with us, and he was talking about what we could do to lower our electricity bill.
Good question.
Right. It's a great question.
Yeah.
What was the answer? What was the question?
He said all kinds of stuff. Did you know that you could call, like, what did he say, Centerpoint? Or you could call Centerpoint. Look it up.
I think you can call your electricity company and like find out like rates. You know how they say like by this month you can get this down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He said that doesn't matter. Like you can call them and they would like have something like that.
Yeah.
It's just stuff they don't tell you, and it's like okay, that was some insightful information.
Right.
So
if you have like window seals, like if
Uh-huh.
you need your window sealed, they'll come do it for free.
Really?
I said, do you have to live in a house or apartment? He said, don't matter.
Really?
He said you could ask.
Did not know that.
The Bible says, ask and you shall receive.
Right.
You have not because you ask not. Isn't that what it, or I might be paraphrasing.
That's a word. That's a word.
I might be,
No, that's.
but you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
And just like when it comes to questions, like you guys are going to give answers for today, people want to know, but they don't know.
Well, they don't know.
Don't know what you don't know, and you don't.
Right.
Sometimes you're scared
Right.
to ask.
Right.
Right.
Sometimes you don't want to know the answer, even though
There
you know
go.
the answer.
There you go. You don't.
You know what
wanna
I'm saying?
Mm-mm. You don't want to know.
It's a lot to talk about today, especially here as it relates to Alzheimer's. And I'm excited to share with our listening audience who I have in the studio. Is it okay if I introduce you?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. She is the founder of Ride for Alzheimer's, a nonprofit organization. She started with her sister to honor their parents and support caregivers impacted by Alzheimer's. As the author of Smiling Through My Tears, she is also a licensed grief and loss counselor and has been a life insurance agent for over 24 years, helping others through difficult life transition. She hosts the Authors Lounge, giving authors a platform to share their experiences and journeys. She would consider herself a servant, passionate, and inspiring. Please welcome into our amazing studio author and host, Ms. Sherrika Hunt Ross. Great morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. Thank you for allowing us to be here today.
Absolutely. You didn't come alone.
Nope, I did
You got
not.
a wonderful lady
No.
sitting here next to you. I said y'all got the same head.
We do.
We do.
We do.
And she would consider herself God-fearing,
Yes.
a leader, and a caregiver.
Yes.
She is Charlotte Hunt. Great morning.
Great morning to you. Pleasure to be here.
AKA my big sister.
Absolutely.
You guys are, or Sherrika, I've known you for a couple years. I say
Yes.
known, but like we've been in the industry around the way.
Yeah.
I remember when you started Authors Lounge. Ain't nobody was doing that.
No.
Let the record show.
I'd not seen that. And you'd developed a space for authors to
Right.
come. It was specifically that. You know,
Right.
people try, I think, let me clear the way I want to say this. I think people create platforms and they want to do it all.
Right.
Sure.
But with yours, and it's fine if you can manage that.
Right.
But sometimes the consumer can get lost.
Right.
But however, you developed a program or a platform specifically for authors to come and talk about their book
Yes.
and what they do,
Why they wrote it.
Yeah, why they
Yeah.
wrote the books that they did. And I'm pretty sure in perfect timing. How long ago was the Authors Lounge created?
Maybe
17?
2017, maybe 6 years ago. Yeah, right after my mom passed. So
Yeah.
after the book, I started the podcast at home and then started the book.
Now, tell us what you're here to talk about. And we're going to get into all of this because this is a lot to unpack.
It is. Well, really, we wanted to talk about our journey as caregivers. Our mother passed away 6 years ago from dementia, turned into Alzheimer's. And so actually we started doing the walk. We joined Alzheimer's Association probably
2017.
2017,
Yeah.
and before she passed. So because we wanted to be more informed, because we didn't know what we was dealing with. So we decided to get more information, do the research. We joined Alzheimer's awareness. We started doing the walk, just joining the community.
Yeah.
And then once she passed, we decided to start our own foundation called Ride for Alzheimer's for caregivers, giving them, because we have the insight of what that looked like,
Right.
taking care of our mom.
What was her name?
Jewel Hunt.
Jewel Hunt.
She was an author also.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
And so, how did you know you were battling Alzheimer's? You said you wanted to be more informed. You weren't. What was the breaking point that said something is different here?
Yeah. Well, it started with she had a brain tumor. So she had a brain tumor. She had brain surgery at 70. She was 70 years old. We were battling with, like, should she even do this? But we wanted to, of course, you try to do whatever it takes to save your mom. So we decided to let her go through the surgery. She had the brain surgery, and she made it through, thank God. But
Right.
after that, it transitioned. Just her thinking, thought process.
Yeah.
She was actually blind in one eye. It did a lot, and it just kind of enhanced her memory loss. She would see things that wasn't there.
Yeah.
The
Hallucinations.
doctor
Yeah.
described it as she was dreaming while she was awoke.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because we didn't understand the things that she was saying and seeing, we couldn't relate, but it was real for her. It was real for her. And so in that process that we had to take care of her, my dad was taking care of her, but while in that process, he passed away. And then for 2 years after that, we all decided we didn't want to put her in a home. We all decided, it was 5 of us. And we all shared days and weekends, and we would pack our bags and leave our home, and we would just take care of her ourselves.
Charlotte, how did this affect you?
Greatly, greatly. As Sherrika mentioned, we all joined forces. Me in particular, being the elder sister, I have always done my parents' business, always been the caregiver, whether they're sick or not. And so I dove in full-fledged. That became my full-time job, basically. We moved in with Mom, rotated days. We all had our own families, but again, it was a commitment to make sure she had the best care. After the brain surgery, she had gone through, that was a lot. That was traumatic. Took a toll. Of course, my father, he passed away during the process. But as a result of the brain tumors, as Sherrika mentioned, she developed what's called vascular, as a result of the brain tumors procedure, she developed vascular Alzheimer's, which led to dementia, the cognitive decline, memory loss, hallucinations, just the loss of herself or who we knew her to be.
Okay.
And so what we wanted to do is make sure we kept intact her integrity, her life, who she was, Jewel Hunt,
Right.
the author, the teacher, world-renowned
Educator, right.
educator, yeah. And so, we wanted to preserve that legacy for her, and we did that. And, I always say God gave us exactly what we needed. That time, the journey, it was an amazing journey. I wouldn't trade it for anything. It was difficult, but it was what we all needed.
Do you regret having the surgery?
No,
No,
not at all. Not at all.
because it gave us that time. The time that I don't know if we would have had or not, but it gave us time. During that process, I actually helped her finish her book.
Mhm.
And so she got to have a book signing, and in those moments we wouldn't have been able to have. So, we didn't want to take a chance. So we celebrate everything.
Yes.
Everything. We make sure every moment was a celebration for her, regardless of what it looked like on the outside.
What was her book about? What is her book about?
A faith that endures.
Yes.
Yeah. And she had wrote it years ago. It was on a yellow paper.
Legal pad.
Legal pad. My publisher was like, "Really? What do you want me to do with this? We need to make this into a book."
Yeah.
And he did, and it was amazing. And it was about her journey, just life,
Mhm.
but her faith in God.
Yeah.
So it just kind of ended with a faith that endured to the end, pretty much. Because she had faith, regardless of her situation. She would always still talk about God. That never changed.
Right.
She never forgot that. You know, she would forget different things and see different things, but she never forgot who God was.
It's hard dealing with family members who have Alzheimer's or dementia.
Yeah.
I do have a family member as well who, have to deal with it every day. They're caregivers, you know,
Right.
as well. And then as you think about, you say there were 5 of you, but then it's like, how do you uproot your life to help?
Yeah.
Who cared for you? Who gave you
Right.
life? You
Yeah.
know,
Right.
and
Yeah.
it's such a weird space.
And
to
it was
be
a
in.
different balance for everybody. Everybody have a different story or perspective of what that looked like. You know, we
Right.
had brothers that was like, I'm not changing mom. I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
I'll give money, but I can't do this. I don't want to see her like this. So everybody had their different, and there was friction. It's just being honest.
Yeah.
This is real life. So it wasn't like roses. Oh, we just holding hands together. Absolutely not. No.
Yeah.
That's not the case, but we did it. I had days where it was just my day, and it's so lonely and quiet, and because you can't go anywhere, you can't leave the room. Literally,
And you're faced with the reality that
Yeah.
they aren't the same person.
they're
They're
not.
not. Yeah.
They're totally not the same person. And the fact that when my dad passed, she would say he was still here.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
She would fix his plate. So how hard was that for us to see and deal with? Because we're dealing with grief, and we're dealing with the loss, but we can't really deal with it because her reality is wake your dad up so he can get ready for church. And I'm like,
Yeah. And what I say to that is that I believe God preserved her in that way. He gave her that.
I was just thinking
she
that.
never had to accept that he was not present. So
No.
my dad was forever with her. They had been married 57
57
years prior to my dad passing. 2 weeks prior to him passing, we had celebrated with a vow renewal
Yeah.
of their 57-year anniversary. It was a beautiful ceremony, and so it was just the fulfillment of that. And I think God prepared her in that way for that journey
Yeah.
without him. But for her, he was there.
Knowing that she had Alzheimer's, was it easier because you got to help, because you got to be with her, you did all these things to preserve her quality of life?
Sure.
When she passed, was it easier because you were there?
for
Yes
me,
and no.
For me, yes. For
You
her.
first, Sherrika, and then you, Charlotte.
For me, it was. For me, it was easier because we were there when she took her last breaths. We actually had hospice at the house, and I laid in the bed with her and breathed those last breaths with her, and I watched. And to me, people may not understand, it was a beautiful thing for me. I knew she was ready. I knew, she didn't want to be here without my dad, or in that state. So for me, it was like okay,
Yeah.
yeah, and just for me mentally, like I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
tired.
literally.
Yeah.
Like I'm drained, and so in some back in my mind, it's like a relief. Like, oh my God, because this was a lot. This was a lot to do. So that's how I felt about it.
What about you, Charlotte?
Yeah. So same, there were days where I felt like when Lord,
Yes, yeah.
being
Even though you
honest.
don't want to think like that.
Yeah, but
it's
it was
like-
it was the reality. It wasn't from a place of selfishness, but I wanted to understand the purpose of this time. Why is she laying here like this? She, because it came to a point where she couldn't interact with us anymore. And so that was challenging. It was lonely at times, not being able to have a life outside of that. But at the same time, we found reward in it. I'll tell you that. Because my mom was not the touchy-feely mom growing up. But through this transition, this journey, she was so lovable. We know some people have a different experience where they're mean, she was so loving. She loved on us, she hugged us and kissed us, so I basked in that. And so as we went through the journey, I was prepared. I thought, hey, it's time, it's happening. We planned as much as we could, but God, of course, had the final say. But at that moment, I as Sherrika talked about the breathing, we were there next to her in bed, and I was like, no, wait,
Yeah, she was
just
like,
wait.
wait.
I'm not
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah, she was.
And
ready.
so But God had his way, and I was okay with it, but the shock of it all, you're never ready. You're never ready. Even when you think you are, you're never ready.
So you guys developed Ride for Alzheimer's. It's a
Yes.
nonprofit organization. You did it together
Yes.
in honor of your mom.
Yes, on her
And-
birthday. The mayor named November the 30th her day.
Jewel Hunt Day.
Yeah, and so that was big for us. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was to honor her, and we do it each year, November 30th. That's the day we received the proclamation, to honor her and to give back, to share with other caregivers. You're not alone. We understand what that journey looks like, and it's different for every person, but it's a difficult journey. It's not all butterflies and sunshine. There are days that we just sat and cried. And Sherrika didn't mention this, but, as we had our different days to come and sit with Mom, I was always the one that wanted someone to be with me, because I thought it was in a family affair.
Yes.
My day is your day, and your day is my day.
Our day.
And
Yeah,
I was saying, absolutely not.
She was like,
Done
I
your
need a
day.
break.
Yeah.
This is your day. And so I'd sit alone and cry on those days. But yeah.
And I slept because you don't sleep.
Yeah.
Like all the lights are on, like the visual is the lights are on, the TVs are all on, because she was just afraid, and you had to sit there. Like you had to go to the bathroom and open the door to make sure she's not trying to get up or do anything to harm herself. And it's a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no day is the same. Each
No.
day is different.
Yeah. It could be a good day, and then it just could be competitive. Like, just everything is just asking the same question over and over and over and over. No, Mom, yes, you have had your medicine. You did eat. Did you, are trying to make her eat, because that was important. And making sure she took her medicine. And did you really swallow it? Open your tongue. Like, I became the parent.
Mm-hmm.
And that's different, bathing your mother and changing your mother and feeding your mother, and these are the things, and the things that you're going through personally, you want that mother to be like, oh, let me tell you about my day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Requires a level of patience.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's certainly a test of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Test of your patience, your faith.
Yeah.
All
And
those
relationships, expectations of each other.
Oh,
you know.
yes.
You should be doing more, or you should, but everybody's not the same.
Right.
And we had to learn that. But it's difficult when you're going through it, you're expecting, I'm doing it, so you should do
Exactly.
Yeah.
it. And that
This
wasn't,
is not the case.
That's not the case.
no, it's not even reality.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
And you have to free yourself from that. And,
Yeah.
and I did that.
You had to.
I had to have that tough conversation with the siblings, in particular the brothers, because the boys, at least in our experience, they just didn't get it, And so one evening, and I'm very routine, very structured. I'm providing all the medical information, all the doctor visits updates that I attend. And so I'm like, hey, no
too
one's
much.
responding to my information. I'm sharing. And so, you know what?
Block her.
I said, yeah, and that's what was happening.
So remove her from the group chat.
Yes, yeah. I am the group chat, mind you.
Do it too much.
Yeah, and so one day I told my brothers, I say, hey, I want to free you guys and free myself. I no longer have expectations, and I'm okay with it. And that really did help me, because I allowed them to be where they were, and I continued to do what I was doing, and that saved me a lot of pain.
Do you guys see your mom and yourselves?
Of course.
Yeah, I see my mom and her. I see my mom and her. So, yeah.
You think she's proud of y'all?
I do.
Yes.
I do.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I think we're doing exactly what she would want to do, and what she did for her mother, and that's who she was.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So Alzheimer was in the family.
Yes.
Yes.
My grandmother, my aunt. Yeah.
Do you ever fear that you might also have Alzheimer's?
Well, personally, I'm dealing with white matter disease. Last year, I was diagnosed with
that?
early stages of dementia. Yeah. No, I didn't share that with just my family, but yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that with us today. How are you dealing with that, Charlotte?
It's tough. It's tough. It's one of those things where, again, I just trust God in all things. This is my little sister. I know what we watched my mom go through. So the thought of that,
For sure.
it's challenging. But listen, when I tell you my faith cannot be shaken, I'm here for it all. Whatever that looks like, whatever the journey looks like. And Sherrika, you know, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
That's what I say. It's going to be okay. I just know that everything that happens, nothing gets to us unless it goes through the hands of God. I understand that. And some things are painful, some things are happy and joyful. But again, He allowed us to go through the journey with my mom for a reason.
And that's what
To
I say.
prepare us.
To prepare us. That's
Yeah.
what.
Yeah,
That's
to
what I.
prepare us.
Yeah. Because I wouldn't know. You know, I wouldn't have realized the symptoms. I wouldn't know. You know, oh, the headaches or the memory loss. Oh,
Yeah.
you know, you take it as you're getting older or menopause, but it
Mhm.
wasn't the case. You know,
No.
I had 8, you know, CAT scans and MRIs and
Yeah.
you know, neurologists, and
Yeah.
then I decided to go to a holistic doctor.
Mhm.
So that's the treatment that I'm doing as we speak. So, yeah. So that's why it's important.
It is.
That's
It's
why
important.
the walk, the pampering, the senior living facility, helping
Mhm.
them, putting a smile on their face, and the gala, just all of that is important to us because it's our journey. It's
Yeah.
what you know.
And if we can help just one person, you know, share our story to say, you're not in it by yourself. We've been through it. And you're going to get through it, you know. But reaching out, just say, hey, can I come sit with your mom for, you know, do you need a break? Do you need to go to the store? Whatever that is. And we had a good village of people that supported us, friends that would come over, bring food. If we couldn't leave, you know, we didn't want to leave. And so it's just important that you reach out to someone
Yeah.
and let them know they are not alone. This journey can be scary. Sometimes Sherrika have called me, and since you shared this, I'll say that, you know, she's like, this is not a good day. You know, I'm looking at these numbers. It's recognition of things, different things that she's experiencing cognitively.
And that's why I think
Like,
I'm
do
moving
you,
so fast.
Yeah, like, do you, I don't, I
can't
want to
stop.
ask, I have
Yeah.
questions. if you
Yeah.
don't
I
mind.
can't stop.
Yeah.
Do
I
you
can't stop.
know how, I mean, like, do you
Yeah,
forget
I can
things?
tell.
Or
Oh,
like,
yeah,
how do you know
absolutely.
that,
Yeah,
how you feeling, you know?
I work in insurance, and so it's the numbers. I've been there 24 years, so I can do this with
Yeah.
my eyes closed.
Yeah.
Now I'm finding myself like, you know, I thought it was like the blurry vision, so I'm wearing glasses now. So the headaches, it was just different signs, and I was like, something's off. I'm off.
Yeah.
I'm sharp, you know, just even interviews, just different things. And I started recognizing, you know, that something was wrong. It was more than me just forgetting my purse, leaving my keys. It was just different stuff, and it was just becoming a lot, like, especially at work. I really knew it at work because I'm dealing with numbers, I'm dealing with money, I'm dealing with all this thing, and then I'm just like, I'm messing up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm messing people policy up. Like, I'm serious. It was like, I'm the office manager, so I'm like, I'm off.
How are you preparing everybody? Yourself? I mean, like,
Kids.
we're not even there yet. I mean, it's not,
Yeah,
it's like
no.
early. So can you like slow it down? What is
No.
it?
Well, so I'm on, you know, supplements every morning. It's your eating. It's your, I mean, to slow it down, you can't stop it. So let's just say that I can't stop it. There's no cure yet. So there are treatments. There are different IV fluids and different things that you can do. You know, eat healthy, change your diet, exercise. Not even exercise that much for me. I can't. So then your weight is, you know, and then it's depression because you like, you know, and so I'm an emotional eater, so I'm eating more, and then I'm supposed to eat that, and it's just a lot. It's a lot to deal with. And I try to stay busy as much as possible because I want to do as much as I can. Like now it's an urgency, life, helping people, doing things. It's an urgency, making people smile. spending more time with my grandkids. Everything is urgent now. Taking time away with my husband and like, okay, we're too busy. Let's just go to Austin. Let's just little things. We don't wait for the big moments, the big.
Every day is big.
Belize trip and all of this. We make the moment. If it's Galveston or whatever, we're just trying to preserve, take a lot of pictures.
I'm so glad that y'all are here.
Yeah, thank
Oh,
you.
Thank you.
Thank
you
you.
so much. Oh,
I know, and people don't know.
yeah. Yeah.
People see you and they just
They don't know
think-
your full journey.
They don't know your story. They
Yeah.
don't know your journey. They don't know your today.
That's right.
And so, like, oh yeah, she's just talking about her mom, but they don't know that it's a real life thing.
Yeah.
You see your girlfriends at the
Yeah.
whatever red carpet you have
Yeah.
to do
Yeah.
and all of that.
And you
Yeah.
just don't know.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
a story behind the story. Always. Yeah.
Y'all got a gala coming up, and we're already past the time. Jesus,
I
why would y'all
know.
just throw that on me like that?
Yeah.
I know. That was unexpected.
I mean,
I know. I wasn't prepared. It just kind of came out. I mean, I just feel, God knows.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And people need to know.
What do you want people to not do? Because you know how
Treat me different.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying.
And it's my husband for me. If you're watching, it's because he wanted to not be true. It's
For
oh,
sure.
you're fine.
Yeah,
oh no,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
good. No. No, No,
But you know better.
I
from
know
them
me.
as experience. You
Yeah,
need to-
and he's
Yeah.
So I think he needs counseling.
we laughing, but we probably
Yeah.
yeah.
Because he's just like, oh no, we're good. You're gonna be good, and we're gonna be good.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cute.
Or we're gonna pray about
I
it.
love you too.
But you want to pray,
You
but
want to pray, but you have to educate
to the
yourself.
realities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
whew, right
know.
for Jeez.
The gala.
The gala, whichever it
All
is.
right.
It's a night of diamonds and pearls,
Yes.
honoring men
Yeah.
and women living with Alzheimer's and cancer. Now, you gave us 2 tickets to give away. We can,
Yes.
I'll do this off air. if
Yes,
that's okay.
that's great.
Okay, and then it is on
December the 15th.
December 15th
Yeah.
at the Humboldt Civic Center
Yes.
at 8233 Will Clayton Parkway in Humboldt, Texas.
Yes.
I got Sherrika Hunt Ross and Charlotte Hunt here in the studio with us today, and they're talking about their experiences with Alzheimer's and dementia. Sherrika just laid a bomb on us real quickly, and we're grateful for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your story here on
Yeah.
this platform. I
Right.
think it is going to help somebody.
I think
It
so.
absolutely
I think
will.
so. We go through things. I haven't learned anything else that we go through things, not for ourselves.
Yeah.
It's always for somebody else, and
That's
that's
right.
been the journey. That's what I've been seeing just through this whole process of
Yeah.
the book, of mom, of the grief counseling. Everything is for a reason. God has a purpose, and He
That's
has a
right.
plan. And so, in this moment, that's what I'm going through. But
Yeah.
I know somebody out there is experienced. Go get checked.
Yeah.
If you know you're off, you know your body.
Yeah. Because
You
we
know-
ignore the signs,
Yeah.
things with our bodies.
I mean, I'm having migraines for 2 weeks,
How long ago were you diagnosed?
a year.
So it's still very recent.
Oh, it's very
Yeah.
recent. Yeah. Yeah.
In your book, Smiling Through My Tears, I want to smile.
Through your tears.
Yes,
Through the
yes, yes,
tears.
yes.
It's just how to deal with grief and loss also. Like everything ties into my journey. So
I thank you guys, both of you, for sharing time and space and energy with us here today at Amazing 102.5 FM. And I'm looking forward to, giving away these tickets.
yes,
Yes.
and coming.
And coming. Hopefully I'm not teary-eyed and
Yeah,
doing all
yeah.
these things. And if it is tears, it's tears of excitement and joy. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, because we have to love on each other
That's
now.
right.
We have to give them moments now. And so if
Exactly.
I can be that for somebody else and give them that moment and celebrate them now, even while not the survivor, but the person that's going through
Yeah.
it right
Right.
now.
Right.
We like to celebrate, oh, they don't have it
Afterwards.
anymore. But
Right.
what about
Yeah.
I'm going through it now?
Yes,
and
yeah.
so I need to be honored and celebrated.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And you do too.
Absolutely.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Nobody ain't gonna make me feel bad about that.
Absolutely
Exactly,
not.
yeah.
Absolutely not.
So,
As
yeah,
my
so-
mom would say, and rightly
And
so.
rightly so.
And rightly so. If you could say one thing to your mom right now, what would it be? To Jules. We'll start with you, Charlotte.
Oh, I miss you. I miss you. I will never stop saying that because I will forever miss my mom. But I'm thankful. I'm thankful for everything that she put in us. And she was definitely a jewel. She was definitely a jewel.
And you, Sherrika, what would you say to her?
I would say I get it.
Mm.
I understand because there was so many days that I didn't understand.
Mhm.
I don't get it. Why? What do you? What's wrong? What did you see? What I wanted to understand it. Not really, God, but I did.
Oh,
And I just didn't understand, and I was so curious of like, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
What are you, it's the blank stares. What's going on? How are you feeling? I was so wanted, with the time that I had with her, I would always ask questions.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, "It's some strange things going on."
she always said that.
And I'm like, "Yeah."
It really is.
No kidding.
And then there's these moments sometimes you think like God is speaking through them.
Yeah. Someone.
Someone is speaking through them.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say. I get it.
Yeah.
We have to wrap this interview
Yes,
up.
we do.
We'd like to leave fans, followers, listeners, and supporters with something inspiring, something
Yes.
empowering, something they could take with them the rest of the day, the rest of the weekend, all the way up to the weekend. Charlotte Hunt, what would you like to leave us with today?
Don't be weary in well doing.
Yeah.
Don't be weary in well doing. God has you.
Yeah.
Again, nothing gets to you unless
Unless
it
it
goes
goes
through the
through God.
hands of God.
How do we find you?
Ride for Alzheimer's. Ride, RIDE, 4, the number 4, and then Alzheimer's. It's on Instagram, Facebook.
Facebook, yeah.
Yeah.
And
We have a website, Ride for Alzheimer's, everything.
Sherrika,
Mhm.
what do you want to leave us with today?
This too shall pass.
Mm.
This too shall pass.
Ladies, thank y'all so much for being my guest here today on the Amanda Sapp Morning Show. You got this bag over here.
Yes,
I'm
a
already
gift.
over. Can I get
Yes.
the bag?
You can get the bag. Can I get something?
Should I open it now?
Yes,
Okay.
sure.
I've got a bag here. It's a nice heavy bag
Yeah.
too. And in it
T-shirt,
is a
smiling through my
t-shirt.
tears.
Yes.
Smiling through my
My
tears.
tears.
If you're on YouTube, then you can see me with this shirt. Smiling through my tears, a diamond in a rough management.
Yes.
You'll see my story, God's glory. I love that. And I got some more stuff.
Candle.
Candle in here.
Yeah,
I'm in
for
the fight
Alzheimer's.
against Alzheimer's.
Yes.
Hoodiesforhealing.com.
Yes.
great.
Rosemary made that for us.
I love this. It
Yes.
smells wonderful and clean. Thank you so much for being my guest here today, guys. I really appreciate both
Thank
of you for
you.
sharing your
Thank
story
you.
with us
Yes.
here. And I wish you nothing but the best and a successful event, which I know it's going to be successful.
Yes.
Yes.
God bless you, the show, and thanks for having
Thank
us.
you.
too.
I
Absolutely.
appreciate y'all. Hey, guys, look, I'm going to leave you with the same thing I always leave you with. Be the change you want to see, and if not you, who, if not now? When. This is the Amanda Sapp Morning Show on Amazing 102.5 FM, your do good through good station where we're changing lives one listener at a time. Until next time, we're out.